Hey, what's up everybody? It's Muth24, and today I'll be taking a look at what is, in my opinion, the single best high-grade kit Bandai has released yet, the 1 to 144 scale 00 Riser designer color version. And that's not to say that the designer color version is necessarily better than the other ones, it's just that this kit, at the time that I got it, was the only version of the 00 Riser that came with both the Gundam 00 and the O Riser. Since then, there have been a number of releases of this. Originally, there was the 00 and the O Riser separate in the standard colors, and then there's this version. There's the Trans Am 00 Riser with the GN Sword 3 and the big pink effect parts. There's the version, like the same thing that this kit has, except for with the GN Sword 3 and the standard colors. And then there's the 7 Swords version of the 00 that doesn't come with the O Riser. There might be a couple others. I think they said that there's like a clear version of it coming out in the future, which is kind of cool. But at any rate, there's a number of variations of this particular kit that you can get that can cater to whatever, preference you have on it. The colors you're going to get right out of the box with this one are a little bit different than the normal one would. You have more of a sky blue here for the upper torso and the binders there. You've got a light gray for the inner bits, as well as the middle of the torso there and parts of the legs. You've got white for most of the lower body and the arms. You've got kind of a peach salmon color for the torso and the front of the crotch there. And that's basically it for the colors on the plastic colors on the 00 itself. The O Riser, if I can pop it off the stand here a second, you do get this free stand included with the kit, which is nice. It's not too high, but it works. And on the O Riser, you get the same sky blue and white and gray, but you also get this transparent orange for the, it's not really the cockpit, but the sensor array, or whatever this is on the front here, for the O Riser. Now the O Riser has a couple stickers on it. You get these white stickers on the stabilizer fin there. And then you also get 2 very small gray stickers on the bottom there, as well as 1 big gray sticker there, and 1 in the front. As for stickers on the actual 00 itself, there's a red crystal bit on the top of the head there, and then yellow stickers on the top of the double V fin there. And this is one thing that I really found to be annoying with the 00, is that those yellow bits, I feel like Bandai kind of was lazy there and just decided to give us stickers instead of molding it in yellow plastic. I think they could have figured out a way to do it, because, I mean, there's already yellow plastic for the vents and for the collar, so I think with a little bit of effort they could have made that into a separate piece. But at any rate, there's also underneath these clear plastic pieces on the side of the head, the side of the arms, and the side of the legs are black stickers, much like what you get with the Season 1 lead Gundams, except for instead of just being black stickers, these ones actually have a green line and some text underneath. It might be kind of hard to see, but it's probably just because of the glare from the lights. These gray bits on the side, or on either side of the leg, are also stickers. And then there's a sticker on the back of the head of the 00, right there, and it's got a little bit of text in it. Now the poseability of this kit is really where it shines through. The GN drives here and the binders that they're on are held into the backpack with a ball joint, so that can just rotate all over the place. Then there's a peg up here that allows it to swing back and forth, and then a peg from there that goes into a polycap on a hinge. So it can rock back and forth, it can rotate 360 no problem, and with all of that combined, you can swing the GN drives around the back there, you can keep them out at the side like I had them, and you can even swing them around to the front. So when you put the full 00 Riser together, you can have the binder bits go all over the place. Now I'm going to move these out of the way for the moment. The shoulder joint has a polycap in the body that swings back and forth like that, and then there's a ball joint connected to it, so that can rotate 360 no problem and even move forwards a little bit. Then underneath there is a hinge that swings back and forth, and there's a peg that runs down here that allows the arm to rotate 360. There's a double joint in the elbow that allows it to go further than 90 degrees, but not quite 180. And then at the wrist, the blue part here, there's also a hinge that allows it to go up and down, and then there's a ball joint at the wrist. The head can rotate 360, although you kind of have to watch out for the collar armor a little bit. It can bob back and forth. Maybe you can't see that good. There you go. And then the torso is built on a unique system. There's a peg that runs from the waist up into the body, and then this salmon piece is actually separate from the rest of the upper torso, and there's a ball joint in there, so it allows it to go all over the place, and then you can get a 360-degree rotation no problem, because there really isn't any skirt armor that comes up high enough to hinder that. Now, in terms of the back skirt, you don't actually get any motion out of it, but you do get 2 beam saber handles, and you can pop these up onto the side slots if you want. You don't actually get any beams included with this kit, but if you have some from another 00 Season 2 kit, you can easily swap them out on this without any problems. The side skirts, though very small, are attached by polycaps that basically act as ball joints, and they just stick right into the side of the model there, and they can swing all over the place. And then there's a little hole in there for the GN Sword 2s to stick into. The front skirt armor, if you can really call it that, has a similar joint, and the armor can go all over the place. Really, it's more for just small adjustments when you're trying to pose it, but it's nice that they included that, even if it does look a little bit goofy at times. The legs, now you're going to have this rocking side to side mechanism like you have in most of the 00 kits, and then the legs are held in by pegs there, as well as polycap joints underneath. So the legs can go pretty much that far forward, that far backwards, that far side to side, and if you put the feet out like that, you can get him to do an insane splits, and he will stay like that. The knees allow it to bend 180 no problem, and I really like how the knee cap piece there moves along with the leg, stays forward but still makes it look pretty flush. And there is a little hinge here on the front of the foot, or the front of the ankle, sorry. So if you wanted the foot to go further forwards like that, you can. And the foot is actually held into that polycap by a peg, and then underneath of that is a ball joint, which allows the foot to swing back and forth on these little guards here. In terms of poseability on the O-riser, you're not going to get a ton, and part of this because it needs to be stable in order to hook onto the 00 to make the 00 riser. But you do get a little bit, such as the stabilizer fin, which I mentioned before. That kind of just wiggles back and forth. These little bits on the back of either wing, I guess you could call them, move back and forth. And then these edges of the binders move up and down or side to side when they're actually on the 00, and then these little fins on the end pop out. So that wraps up the poseability portion. Stay tuned for part 2, and I will go over the combination mode of the O-riser with the 00 Gundam to create the 00 riser, as well as the accessories and the instruction manual. See you then.